So first things first. Hi, I'm Cody.
William.
Okay, William, I got to tell you these conversations are recorded.
Okay, cool.
And I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer.
I've read that.
Okay, how can I help?
All right, so I have an issue with a mechanic.
Okay.
He was hired to purchase and install a remanufactured engine.
Okay.
After delivery, come to find out, it was actually a used engine that was installed.
Okay.
Then a second engine was installed that was supposed to be a new engine. Turns out it also was a used engine, which then he warrantied it for a year. 2 weeks later, it was 2 quarts of oil low, 1 quart of coolant low, and after notifying him of that, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna work on your truck anymore. You're pretty much fired from us."
So when you had the conversation, he's like, "Hey, we're going to put a remanufactured engine," and then they end up putting in a used engine. Did he tell you that they were putting in a used
Never
engine?
disclosed.
Okay. I mean, it's tricky because at some point, what point in time did you find out that the product you purchased wasn't the product he sold you?
About a month ago, after negotiations of like, what are we going to do? We were going to negotiate his release of the warranty. Then, talking back and forth, he inadvertently spilled more information out than what I guess he was trying to hold. But essentially, he came to the point was like, "Yeah, look, remanufactured engines do not exist. They're not here. This is what I could get with just used engines."
I mean, remanufactured engines do exist, though, by the very notion,
yeah,
like,
yes.
a remanufactured engine is a used engine, right?
In the fact that it's been
Correct, but
reconditioned.
it's been reconditioned, but it's still a used engine, right? But like if the engine had never actually been remanufactured, it hadn't gone through anything, they just went to a junkyard and pulled an engine, that's not what you purchased, right? And then if he told you he was getting the second time a new engine, and if you have that in writing and you say you're buying a new engine, and you come to find out that the engine he sold you wasn't new, then you'd have a claim against him for fraud. He didn't sell you what you purchased. That's like if you go to the restaurant and you pay $1,000 for like a salmon meat, or for super salmon sashimi, and then you find out it's tilapia, it's fraud. They got to give you your money back. They didn't sell you what you bought. So you could sue him in small claims, which would be magistrate court, and you'd have seems like a simple thing to win. You'd go in there, say, "Here's my purchase order," where it says one new, brand new engine, price $3,000, labor $1,000 install. He did not do that,
Right.
and then he would have to show the receipts that the engine he installed was brand new.
Okay.
And if it wasn't, you win.
What if it was a gentleman's agreement and there was no estimate back and forth?
So contracts don't have to be written in order for them to be valid, right? You can have a verbal contract, but then it becomes significantly harder to prove because unless you have some kind of a paper trail, a text message thread, an email thread, something where he says, "Yeah, it's a new engine," then it's going to be he said, she said, your word versus him. Like it's going to be which one of y'all is more persuasive to the judge, right? Because you have nothing in a way to prove your side of the story. Like,
what if through the text messages, my claim is proved by his own?
If you have a text thread where he says that he's putting in a new engine, right? If you have a conversation where he goes, "Yeah, it's a new engine. It's a new engine," right? Okay, cool. $5,000, new engine, $5,000. Then you've established that he sold you a new engine.
Okay.
And then you can prove, well, no, it comes to find out it was an engine from a car that was 50 years old and it already had 80,000 miles on it and it died after a year. Then that's a claim that you could prove before a judge, right? But it's absent any kind of like him you have to prove your assertions, right? If not, it's just gonna be like, "No, I told him it was a used engine." If he heard remanufactured or he heard new, that's on him, right? You've got to prove your claim. So if you got something in writing, a text message, an email, some kind of a paper threat, like paper trail, then yeah, you got a good claim to prove.
Okay.
You get your money back.
Yeah.